All right. I think we are live. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Just like I said, I am bringing in one of my amazing authors in my book, Miraculous. And today I have Honey Marie Love. Her name is so delicious. Like you can't even imagine. I mean, it encompasses everything that she is, what she stands for, her work. Like it's just a golden pot of deliciousness. That's what it sounds like. But you might know her as Mama Honey with the Serenity Maven. So welcome, Honey.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for energetically inviting me into this project.
I know, right? It was all energetic, all energetic. So, my dear, let's go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are, and what is your work in the world. How do you share your magic with people?
Yeah. So I am Honey Marie Love, as you said. That is who I was born as. And I'm known as Mama Honey, the Serenity Maven. And the Serenity Maven is an expert at peace. And so that is who I work with. I work with people that are seeking peace or already have more peace or need to maintain that peace that they've achieved. And specifically, I work with empaths, healers, psychics, and mediums who are looking to really align with your authentic self so that you can show up more in your purpose. And my area of expertise I'm a life transformational life coach, as well as an intuitive healing teacher. And so through that, I really can help people heal their inner child so that they can show up authentically. So that's the space I'm called to serve in.
Beautiful. And you do like a Reiki certification, right? Something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
yeah. So I have
Yeah.
an online wellness center. It's called targetedwellbeingcenter.com. And we work with women who are looking to go through that life transformation, healing themselves and healing others. And so Reiki is one of those things. It's really, you know, with inner child healing, we tend to be fixers, perfectionists, needing to look for that external validation. And so while it does have Reiki in there, it really is about surrendering to the rules that people create, including like a Reiki program that's like, you have to do this, this, and this, and surrendering to your own intuition and trusting that things don't have to be perfect. They can be intentional.
Yes. Oh, that's powerful. Things
Yeah.
don't have to be perfect. They can be intentional. That is so powerful. So I'm trying to think like when I met you, like the first time I met you. Like I can't even remember like how we met, but I know that there was something with Reiki or energy healing or like something like that that brought us together.
Yeah, I think it was with Sarah. Sarah Nolan. So I think we met in 2017, and I can't remember if it was just before my near-death experience or just after.
Ah,
But we met when I was bedridden for sure. I had a one-on-one with you when I was bedridden
yes.
several months.
Yes.
That's when the universe, I kept hearing, slow down, be quiet. And, working 60, 80 hours a week, sleeping 2 hours a night. I thought slowing down and being quiet was going, oh, I'm going to sleep 3 to 4 hours and I'm going to work, 60 hours instead of 80 hours, and the universe was like, no, you're going to lay in bed and
Yeah.
you're going to do nothing. And that's when we met.
That was a very transformative time for you because I've watched you since that time and you've grown exponentially. Because I still remember our session and just everything that came up to be transformed and transmuted and cleared. And what word I was gonna say reordered in the way it's like like your energy coming back to you and then coming back in place. Like it was such a powerful connection that we had, a powerful work that we did together, and I see that how it just cascaded from then on. And the woman, the goddess that you've become today is just like, and you continue to evolve. And I love watching you with your daughter. absolutely love that. Like you're just such an amazing person, and you are not afraid to grow. You're not afraid to do the work. You're not afraid to get vulnerable.
Yeah,
You're
share
not, yeah,
what it actually looks like, because people think everything's love and light. And you need that love and light to get through the shadows, because
exactly.
it's pretty. But yeah, you've
Yeah.
recognized that. And I created a podcast several years ago after we met called Finding Mommy's Soft Voice. And that's because one of my secrets was I used to rage. So being that, corporate person, having to be perfect at work all day, and then coming home and losing it on my family because I really wasn't happy. I was saying yes all the time based off of other people's expectations. And so Lady J, as we know her, she's raised totally different than my other kids. And actually, Lady J was one of the reasons that I had this awareness of who I was. I was actually showing up differently than I thought I was. And when she started talking at 2, she was walking around saying, "I too busy, I too busy, I too busy." And then she was growling all the time. And I was like, why is she growling? And then I realized under my breath, that's how I was releasing my frustration and energy, was that through this growling. And so it was a reflection of, okay, here's some things to heal. And, when you're talking about that session, we had my hair started standing up on my head, my crown was just like, whoa, like Hawaiian arrangement. But like, thinking back to then, it was in a space where, I've been in a space of going to people for help, and, we had a family psychic for, the last 20 plus years, that
Yes.
people in my family. And it's like, oh, I need help. Tell me what to do. I need help. Tell me what to do. And that's really the space I was still in when we met.
Yes.
And now, even with my clients, it's not like, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I'm going to teach you the tools so that you can trust that you know what to do. And I've trusted that and not trusted it enough to learn that it's trustworthy.
Yes.
And that in itself is really a miracle. And the freedom that comes from that is doing the work so you can breathe, trust, relax, and trust in divine timing.
Exactly. There's something that you just said about, because this is a theme that I'm really noticing in the time that we're in and the direction that we're all moving in as a collective consciousness, moving from, because I've even seen that in myself, moving from, oh, I need to go outside of myself to find the answers, because again, the underlying thing is that we don't trust ourselves completely, right? And I'm noticing, like, especially this year, before, when someone I know posts something online, like, hey, who wants a card or who wants to read? I'm like, yay, yes, please. I need some clarity. And this year came and it's like all of those posts, it just like goes right by. It goes right by because I'm in a place where it's like I am in tune with all that I need. It has nothing to do with everyone else and everything to do with, do I trust myself enough to follow my own path? So I'm glad that you said that, because this is something that, it's not just us that we're experiencing. This is a collective thing. Like I want people to start noticing if you find yourself going outside of yourself to find the answers. Like, can you tell me what my path is? Can you tell me who my soulmate is going to be? Can you tell me this? Like, come back to yourself, because the questions that you're asking, I promise you, the answers are already there if you only quiet down and listen. Like you said, right?
Yeah.
When the universe is like, I need you to just be still and quiet, right?
Yeah. For me, and what I notice also for a lot of people is, especially as visionaries, we see that long-term goal, right? We see the big picture. But when we connect with people, we see their greatest potential, right?
Oh, yes.
And here's what I discovered. Here's what I discovered is that we also see their least greatest parts too. And until we can become comfortable with our own shadow side, can we then become honest with other people's as well? And then go, okay, well, let's take a look at that. This is the potential. this is their shadow side, but where are they in the present moment?
Yes.
And not fear that shadow side. But like when I came to you, I think I came to you for twin flame.
Yes, you did.
Right?
Oh, I remember.
And now here it is, all these years later, I've really not had this big relationship, which would have been a distraction.
Exactly.
And I would have attracted someone that still had the mask I was wearing.
Yes.
And then now, like my idea, this is literally what I do. I do online stuff and I look at it and I connect to the picture and I get a yes or no and I swipe and I trust it. And I don't need to know what the no was.
Exactly.
Or why, right? Where before we're like, no, but. And I think when we apply this trusting, it could be in any categories. My hardest one was relationships.
Yes.
So that's why I was seeking outside. But in the same time, you know, I was able to trust in other areas. And so over time, what I started to do was like, honey, how come you can apply this here, but you can't apply it here?
Yes.
So I call it harnessing that energy. I was like, okay, so I'm going to borrow the trust that I have in this scenario of making decisions for my child, making decisions for my business, making decisions for these. And I'm going to apply that and borrow that over in these areas that I'm struggling with, to be able to be honest. That's really what it is being honest with ourselves, but remaining curious and gentle as we navigate. All of these things come up. And the thing that I find that creates the most miracles is gratitude.
Oh, absolutely.
I call it popcorn speed.
Yes.
The more we show gratitude, all of a sudden it's like, how is this even possible for this to happen this quickly? But it is possible. It is absolutely possible to create happiness, to create balance through doing that work.
Exactly. I love that you said that because I have this theory or feeling that whenever someone hears about gratitude, you know, they're thinking about the perfect scenario. So at that moment, if their life is not perfect, they don't think stepping into the energy of gratitude is going to work or help them expand, right? Because like right now, I don't feel like gratitude. I don't feel good at all. So it doesn't matter what I do, it's not going to do anything. But what I've learned, I mean, I know you've learned it too, that we can be grateful at any given moment. We just need to find in that moment something that just brings that hint of joy.
Yes.
It can be that you're standing in the grass at that moment and you're like, God, that feels amazing. And just that moment, just saying, I'm grateful that this grass is underneath my feet, changes so much.
Yes. In my first book, I share, you know, so many times, like I was in that space where, you know, I did this meditation, a gratitude meditation, and it was like, look back the day, look back the week, look back 6 months, look back a year, look back 5 years. And I was so angry and upset that I couldn't find anything.
Yeah.
And so what I invite people to do is just find something like that. And if you're in that space where you just can't, be grateful for your breath.
Yes.
And focus on that breath and just take a moment to be grateful for all that it's doing without you even having to think about it.
Yeah. Oh, so much wisdom.
And if you do that on the grass, like that's even double
exactly.
the grass. Yeah.
Exactly. So my dear, I'm curious to hear what drew you to saying yes to becoming a contributor in Miraculous. Because, you know, this question is really, you know, it's important to me because I set an intention around this book and it's drawing in specifically, you know, specific people who are energetically in resonance with it. So the people that step forward, I'm like, I see you. You know, like even if at that moment they're like, I just feel like saying yes, but I have no idea what this is about or what I'm going to write about. I just feel a clear yes and I'm going to follow through. And I know there's some people that right now, like tuning into the energy of people who's supposed to step in, who are feeling the yes, but they're like, I don't know, I'm not an author, or what the heck am I going to write about? So I want to hear from you. What drew you in?
This question. And I love, like I was telling you, I just took a shower to get ready, and that's where a lot of my divine downloads come in.
Yes.
I kind of knew this was going to come up. And so I'm going to tell you, it wasn't your sales page.
Mm.
I kept reading that. I'm like, this isn't Abigail. This isn't Abigail. This isn't Abigail. Like, but
So, yeah.
the call, right? Like I felt the call and the energy of it. And, you know, your energy, I still like my insides. When I think of the word yummy, like that, when I was in a place of like, I could just get to that yummy, like the way you say it and the way it feels in your body when you say it, is just amazing. And so now I feel like I'm aligned with this yummy energy, and that's what I'm brought into. Is I didn't even know what your project was. I was like, I'm supposed to be doing this with Abigail, and I will tell you, is my ego kept coming in,
Yes.
and going, well, maybe not, because I have other projects I'm working on, right?
Totally.
And so, like, and then what was interesting is when I went and paid. Like it was one of those things where like, shoop, and then more came in, and I was like, all right, universe, I trusted you on that one. And so that was just further confirmation. But, you know, I still in this moment don't know what I'm really going to write about it. Maybe about a little bit what we talked about today.
Yeah.
I've had a near-death experience. I've lived through major miracles and like the little miracles that happen all day, every day. But I would be lying if I said I didn't. Like right now, my breath is going to be taken away. Is like, I feel the richness in this project.
Yes.
And I feel like I am being, like, when we talk about up-leveling and transformation, maybe that's why I have this ring on. I just put it on. Like, oh,
I love it.
So when we talk about up-leveling transformations, if I were to go to my ego side and go, oh, am I worthy? Am I good enough to be working with this yummy energy? What I feel is that this energy is here. I've been aligning with it. And now that I've said yes, it's like, I feel like I'm going through an up-leveling with this project.
Yes.
But I literally, it was more of a heart pull.
Mm-hmm.
And everything my head was telling me, you know, was all those negative things. And I had to literally listen. Telling myself that those things weren't true. So yeah. And when I reached out to you, when I messaged you, I was like, okay, universe, if she says no, then it's not aligned. And then you said, yeah,
I was like, of course. You know, like I said before, like I feel the people coming in. I might not always see their face immediately until they get closer, right? But I feel them. And so when they step in, it's no surprise for me. And I love that you mentioned the up leveling because, you know, when I said yes to adding publishing house to my work, I couldn't understand why I was so drawn to doing that. And the more I step into the energy, the consciousness of this publishing house, I realized that this is another way that my energy gets to support more people to rise up, to expand, to amplify. You know what? And to also give you that space to really open up your voice and share your work with others. I mean, like what, you know, like being able to be in multi-author books, like there's no experience like it. You know, you would think it's the simplest thing because you just come in, write your chapter, your bio. I mean, that would be like a regular publishing, but this is like on a different level. You are on an expansive journey.
Yeah. It wasn't one of those things either where it was like, what am I going to get out of this? And it was literally like, I have to be a part of this energy and this collective that's coming together. And I don't even know why. So just like when I was saying, like, you know I don't have to know why the no. This is the opposite of that. And I'm realizing that right now is I don't have to know, and nobody really has to know the why behind the yes. It's just trust it and follow it when we're feeling it.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. I love it. I'm so excited for everyone coming together. And so far, I'm just blown away And I can't, like, by the time this book comes out, like, I think people just have to look at it, just to just by looking at the book, just the cover of the book, and they'll already be getting like miraculous stuff happening in their life. Like, this is the the energy that I'm getting from this. Is like the message, the vision that I'm getting with this. Like, we're creating a tangible tool that can physically transform people's life. So I just want to honor you, honor you for saying yes to that call.
Thank you. I am getting kind of a little bit of a nudge to share, which is like when people don't feel like they know what to write. So like I mentioned, this is my second book. And what I would say is speak from the heart. So what I do is I get, I create sacred space. I surrender, just like if I'm doing a reading, right? I surrender and step out of the way. And I ask for the words to flow through.
Yes.
And I find that people connect when, instead of it being like a studious type thing, like really just speaking to people as if they were in front of you and speaking to one person, and just telling them. And many of these people that are being called in, that may even be watching this right now, maybe like, I don't even know what to do, but you speak to people all the time. You help people all the time. You share miracles all the time. And it's just another way of taking that expression and putting it onto paper. And so, just being you and showing up that way is going to be enough.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to be you. Yeah, you cannot be in this book and not be you.
No, but I get that intimidation, right? Of like, you've never written before,
Yeah.
How do you, and it's like, well, you're not different on paper than you are,
Yes.
it doesn't have to be academia, right?
Exactly.
It's, you just get to share. And I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but even in media nowadays, you'll hear an interview and then you read it as an article and it's literally word for word.
Yes.
And so I think when people hear write a book or write, and it's this big intimidating thing, but we speak all the time. And so you mentioned, this throat clearing that's coming with this. And it's a matter of just expressing differently. So I'm excited to see who else is getting called into this.
Totally. I'm glad you also talked about that, because this is the difference between what the publishing house used to be, like the, masculine driven, very academia is about the numbers, right? It's not even about the person and who they are, and versus what is coming up, right? And the soulful, very feminine, goddess driven publishing house, which is about the person. It's about the experiences. It's about how they can use their voice to impact greater masses, which is what we need right now. Right. It really takes the no more hiding to a whole different level, because you go from, well, I'm just going to stay, in this container that I've created is very nice and safe. I know the people in there too, but you're meant to touch millions. You know it. But you're like, I have no idea how I'm going to do that. And that kind of sounds scary. Well, this is actually a simple step for you to do.
Yes.
And after this, you won't look back. You're going to be like, why was I stressing? Right. But it is a scary calling. I remember my second book, Awakening, which I was part of. I was like, I have no idea. It was like a clear yes. I stepped in. I was like, I don't know. What did I just do? I don't know what do you want me to write about? And when I allowed myself to just sit with the yes, like it was like a stream of download. And of course, if you read the chat, it's like it's DNA activation. And it was mind blowing. Even up to now, I still get people emailing me like, oh my gosh, you have no idea what that chapter have done for me. And that is the purpose. That is the reason why we're being called to put our magic on paper, tangible. Because you know what? That future generation, our children and their children, they will have access to that book and they'll get to read that. And that's going to change them on a whole different level.
Yes.
I have chills. Oh, I'm so excited for you. Thank you so much for joining me in this delicious soul to soul chat. My chat, not chart. Oh my gosh, chat. chat
Huge
right
heart
there.
for us to meet today.
Oh my gosh. And for those of you who are watching this conversation and you're like, yes, I'm feeling this call. And yes, even though you don't know what you're going to write about, I urge you to just follow the voice of your higher self, follow the guidance of everything that is within you, pulling you into this project. Because trust me, there's a reason why you're being called into it. You have a place in this project. Your voice needs to be heard. Your magic needs to be experienced. More people need your magic. So trust that, and come join us in sharing some magic. Oh, thank you so much for joining us, honey. Thank
Thank
you, thank
you.
you. And everyone, thank you for watching this. As always, from our hearts to yours. Until next time, bye, everyone.